How do you deal with complainers? Oh my gosh, the number of times that I've worked with clients in coaching on this very thing, whether it's their boss, their peers, on a project, staff, or customers, it's really challenging to keep your spirits up, your morale, and your focus when you have a lot of negativity around you. I was coaching a group of really smart, savvy middle managers. They work in healthcare, and here it is, the middle of COVID, and I'm trying my very best to help them. Now, it was interesting because in our previous conversations, they had been talking about how resourceful and how curious people were as they're trying to get through COVID to get through it together. There was a real collegiality, there was a lot of understanding on the family members and patients' part. And one of them shared with me at the top of our call, it's all of a sudden today like a scene out of The Walking Dead. Everybody's just miserable and grouchy and behaving inappropriately. You know what I'm saying? Where people are just focused and fixated on destruction of people, and they're just so unhappy and miserable, and they want to know you have heard them. So I figured, since they're all in agreement that it feels like they are currently working and serving a whole bunch of people walking around like zombies, let's use that as a metaphor for a second. So I asked them the strangest question I've ever asked anybody in coaching. If your experiences were one where you might be dealing with zombies, how might you deal with those zombies? After a bit of a pause, somebody went, well, I guess you'd hit a zombie over the head. And somebody else piped in and they said, well, you should definitely consider hiding from them. And somebody else said, and don't forget about physically distancing because you don't want to get infected. All good points. I mean, I actually didn't realize what I would do if I came across a zombie, but now I know. So I said, okay, great. So now we have our 3 strategies. What might that look like in a work context of dealing with people? And sure enough, an infinite number of possibilities arose. So let me walk you through some of these, and I think you'll find these really helpful. Number 1, so the hit them over the head. Obviously, we're not going to hit anybody over the head, but really the ideas that they started to generate were all around being direct. Acknowledge that you heard somebody. Speak specifically about what you're willing to accept and what is not okay. Put some boundaries and some lines in the sand. Repeat back exactly what you heard and ask for confirmation. Ask for clarification about what they want and need and expect from that conversation. Great suggestions, right? Strategy number 2, hide. Obviously, we can't hide from the people that are complaining. However, we can delineate our time and our energy. For example, you may not want to respond to somebody immediately. Take a beat. Calm yourself down, make sure they're calmed down. Ask if you can phone somebody back or respond to them in a moment. Acknowledge the email and say, I'll get back to you shortly. Book a time when you can speak in person, whether it be virtual or face-to-face. And of course, know that you don't want it to seep into the rest of your energy and your time as well. So one of the strategies we came up with is batch miserable tasks. If you know that you have a number of folks who are consistently complaining, respond to those emails or return those phone calls collectively, but not until you've done something that feeds your soul, makes you feel productive, a sense of accomplishment, somebody or something that's been positive before, so that you go into those conversations resourcefully. Strategy number 3, around how do you distance and how do you not get contaminated by that negativity? Well, this is all around boundaries. This is about taking your breaks, making sure that if you're getting depleted, you take a vacation day, about not letting them see you sweat. Perhaps you've taken that pause like we just talked about. And then when you are in the thick of that tense conversation, remember that they are a human too. Here's one of their favorite suggestions that we came up with. Everything that they're complaining to you about, assume it is a reflection of something that they don't like about themselves or their situation. Why can't you be more organized? Might be something in a patient environment like, why can't my family get ourselves organized to take care of mom the way she deserves? Why aren't you more organized with the schedule? Might be, why can't my family feel less chaotic and feel calmer? My friends, dealing with complaints, really, when we assume the person has negative intent, it gets us into this place where they feel and they seem like they are zombies, when in actual fact, they're human beings. They're struggling. There's something that is not working in their world, in their environment. And you maybe don't see it at this point, but you have the opportunity to completely turn that around. You have the opportunity to see them as a human being, to see them as more resourceful as they are even seeing themselves right now, and to embrace the idea that they have greatness, it's just really well hidden. You've probably heard me share before that a complaint is merely a poorly worded request. If this individual were feeling more resourceful and less zombie-like, because zombies don't always have the most intellect while they're super stressed, right? Imagine if in fact they were able to better articulate what their wants and needs were. What would they share with you? My name's Sarah McVanel, helping you to be your greatness magnified every day. If you know somebody that you think would benefit from this video, why don't you share it with them? Because let's face it, we all have complainers in our lives. And if you like what you saw here, please subscribe because I'd love to see you come back every week.